What if I told you the moment you get angry, you lose control and the other person wins? Most people don't realize this, but every time you react emotionally, you are giving someone else power over your mind. Most people think staying calm is easy. They believe it's just about controlling anger or ignoring what others say. But that's not true. Because when someone disrespects you, when someone insults you, when things don't go your way, your brain doesn't stay calm. It reacts instantly. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tighten. Your thoughts become faster. And before you even realize it, you are already emotional. So the real question is not, how do you stay calm? The real question is, why do some people never lose control, even in chaos? Because there are people who can be insulted, challenged, even disrespected, and still remain completely calm. No anger, no reaction, no emotional outburst. At first, it looks like confidence, but it's something deeper. It's psychological control. And once you understand how it works, you start seeing human behavior differently. Let's start with something simple. Imagine someone says something negative to you, something disrespectful. Most people react instantly. Why? Because the brain sees it as a threat. This is called the fight or flight response. Your brain is designed to protect you, so when it detects a threat, it prepares you to react. But here's the problem. The brain cannot always tell the difference between a real threat and an emotional one. So even words, simple words, can trigger the same reaction as danger. That's why people get angry so quickly, because their brain is trying to defend them. But highly intelligent individuals understand this system, and instead of reacting, they pause. That pause is everything, because in that moment, they take back control. Most people don't pause, they react. And reaction is automatic, but control is intentional. Think about this. If someone can control your emotions, they control you. Every time someone makes you angry, they are influencing your behavior. They are deciding how you feel. And the moment your emotions are controlled by others, you lose power. This is why smart people don't react immediately, because they understand something powerful. Not reacting is control. Now imagine two people in an argument. One is shouting, the other is completely calm. Who looks more powerful? The calm one. Always, because calmness signals control, and control signals strength. But there's something even deeper. When you react emotionally, you reveal yourself, your weaknesses, your triggers, your insecurities, all become visible. But when you stay calm, you reveal nothing. And in psychology, the person who reveals less has more control. This is why silence can feel uncomfortable, because it creates pressure. When you don't react, the other person starts thinking, they start questioning, they feel unsure, and uncertainty creates psychological discomfort. So instead of you feeling pressure, they feel it. This is how calm people shift power, without saying anything. Now, here's something most people never realize. Anger is not power. It feels like power, but it's actually a loss of control. Because when you are angry, you are predictable. People know how you will react. They know how to trigger you. They know how to control the situation. But calm people are unpredictable, and unpredictability is power, because no one knows what they will do next. This forces others to be careful, to think more, to adjust their behavior. Without realizing it, they start respecting you, not because you demanded it, but because your behavior created it. Now, think about your own life. How many times have you reacted instantly, said something you regret, felt angry over something small? That's normal, because that's how the brain is wired. But staying calm is not natural, it's learned. And once you learn it, everything changes. You stop reacting, you start observing, you stop getting control, you start controlling, and most importantly, you stop giving your energy to things that don't matter. Because here's the truth. Not everything deserves a reaction. Some things are better ignored. Some people are better ignored. And the moment you realize that, you become free. Free from unnecessary stress. Free from emotional drama. Free from people who try to control you. But this level of control doesn't come from ignoring emotions. It comes from understanding them. Smart people don't suppress anger. They analyze it. They ask, Why am I feeling this? Is this worth my energy? Will reacting improve anything? And most of the time, the answer is no, so they choose silence. Not because they are weak, but because they are aware. Awareness is the foundation of control. When you understand your emotions, they stop controlling you. And when your emotions don't control you, no one else can. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because staying calm is not just about control, it's about understanding people. Most people think others make them angry, but in reality, people only trigger what already exists inside you. If a small comment can disturb you, it means something inside you is already unstable, and smart people know this. That's why they don't focus on controlling others. They focus on understanding themselves. Because once you understand your own mind, no one else can control it. Now think about this carefully. Why do insults hurt? Why do negative words affect you? It's not because of the words themselves. It's because you give those words meaning. If someone says something negative, you have two choices. You can react, or you can observe. Most people react. Smart people observe. They step back mentally. They look at the situation from distance. And they ask themselves, does this actually matter? And most of the time, it doesn't. But emotional people don't ask this question. They react instantly, and that reaction creates more problems. Arguments grow, stress increases, energy gets wasted. But calm people break this cycle. They don't feed the situation. They don't give it energy. And without energy, conflict dies. This is something very powerful, because most conflicts don't exist on their own. They survive on reaction. If you remove reaction, you remove the fuel, and the situation disappears. Now, let's go deeper. There is a hidden reason why calm people are respected. It's not just because they don't react. It's because they are rare. Most people are emotional. Most people react quickly. Most people lose control. So when someone doesn't follow that pattern, they stand out. And the human brain respects what is rare. This is called psychological contrast. When everyone is loud, silence becomes powerful. When everyone reacts, calmness becomes dominant. And without trying, you become the strongest presence in the room. Now imagine this in real life. Someone tries to provoke you. They expect a reaction. They expect anger. They expect you to lose control. But you don't react. You stay calm. You stay silent. Suddenly, they feel uncomfortable because their expectation is broken. And when expectations break, control shifts. They lose control of the situation. You gain it. This is why calm people often win without arguing. They don't fight for control. They create it. Now, here's something even deeper. Calm people don't try to prove themselves, because the need to prove yourself comes from insecurity. When you know your value, you don't need validation. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to respond to every comment. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. And that mindset is extremely powerful because it saves your energy. Most people waste energy on arguments, opinions, unnecessary conversations. But calm people are selective. They choose where to invest their attention. They choose what deserves a reaction. They choose what to ignore. And this selectiveness is what gives them control over their life. Because your attention is your power. Where you focus, your energy flows. And where your energy goes, your life follows. So if you give your attention to negativity, you create a negative life. But if you control your attention, you control your reality. This is why emotional control is not just about staying calm. It's about designing your life. Now, let's talk about something most people never think about. Why do some people try to make you angry? Because reaction gives them power. If they can control your emotions, they feel in control. But when you don't react, they lose that power. And this frustrates them, because they can't influence you anymore. This is why staying calm is not just peaceful. It's strategic. It protects your energy. It protects your mind. It protects your control. And over time, it changes how people see you. They start thinking before speaking to you. They become more careful. They respect your presence, not because you demanded respect, but because your behavior created it. And this is the biggest shift. You don't need to force respect. You become someone who naturally earns it. Now, end this with something powerful. In life, you will always face difficult people. You will always face stressful situations. You will always face moments that test your patience. You cannot control these things, but you can control one thing: your response. And your response is your power. Because the strongest person is not the one who reacts first. It's the one who stays calm, while everyone else loses control. So next time something tries to disturb your peace, remember this: not everything deserves your reaction. Not everyone deserves your energy. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is absolutely nothing.